Hey, so quick video I really want to make just because I need to make a video. I promised myself that I was going to try and make a video every day, and even if it's the most useless thing ever, still want to try and make one. So, I'm going to show you really quickly what I did here. Here's this simple little melody I got going right now. So, just a quick little thing. The volume, you can control it here, but you can also control it here, because what I did is I took this track, I disconnected it from the master, and then my thing on, yeah, I disconnected it from the master, and then what I did is I went here and I selected root to this track, and that is a group. And if you want to create a group, you right click and then you select create group, and then you name it. I named it harp, color it, and then there's your group. And what essentially that does is that it takes all the tracks you may have here. Let's take this for example. Right now, this channel right here, channel 3, is still connected to the master. So what I'm going to do is unclick that. I'm going to take this and I'm going to route to this track. There we go. So now I don't have anything on this track, but if I go to this track here and I start playing this again, and then I suddenly start lower this, watch what happens. It becomes quieter because this track is linked with the other tracks. So essentially, if you want to just lower everything, instead of having to go to each individual track to lower, you can just link it all to one track, and then lower that. I'd say this is very helpful. It's very beneficial. I'm gonna turn this back up. And it saves you a lot of time. Another thing that you can do that I like to do is go to EQ, and on the group track where all the instruments are located, I just like to put like a simple ignore these. A simple actually don't ignore these. I'm gonna do this. EQing. This is not simple. This is ignored this, but I like to do EQing, and then from there I can do what I want. Anyway, let's listen to that quickly. Tell that's a lot more. There we go. Can tell it's a lot more focused, I'd say, on the sound, because what I did is I took the EQ, I got rid of the stuff over here, I got rid of some of the lower end frequencies over here, and I just kind of use this to kind of give it a little more of a boost, a little bit more of a ritualness. And I got some of rid. You'll see here these little ones. I got rid of some of the what would you call it? Acoustic reverb in a way. There's some frequencies that you might not want because it kind of sounds weird. So I got rid of those. I brought it down negative 3.7 dB, which you want to be careful because you don't want to make these like too. You don't want to cut them out completely because that way you might take away from some of the sound. But doing it a little bit is totally fine. I'd say like 6 is like the max of dB, which you see in the top left corner or top left corner here. What you can do here, you see the little dB there, 5.3 dB. Anyway, I'm gonna take that and not do that. I'm gonna reset and that part. There we go. That way it's Anyway, there we go. Oh, and if you click outside of this, you can raise and lower this any way you want. I'm gonna bring it up here. So when you play it, you see how those when it plays, you have those that shows the frequencies that are being played, and in some of these, you see that the frequencies are very harmonic in some parts. So you want to get rid of some of that if you want a cleaner tone. Another thing you can do is go to I like Fruity Reverb is a very good tool, but I've found that I really like to use Fruity Convolver. Also, just a quick thing, a lot of what I've learned is from my friends and also a YouTube channel called In The Mix. I am positive you have heard of it, of In The Mix. He is an amazing channel. Go check him out. I'll leave a link in the description, even though, I'm a little channel. You can obviously just... But anyway, yeah. Go in here, and I like to go to Cathedral. I like to turn up the wetness a little bit. I like to turn up the delay a little bit, like by like 50 milliseconds, just give it a little bit of thing. And then what you can do is there's also an equalizer in here, and I like to do this and bring this up like that. Also, if you want to make a smoother line, hold Alt, and it'll create a smoother bar. So now, when we hear that, let's listen to how that sounds. You see that kind of like that effect that it has. Another thing that you can do is Another thing that you can do is I'm gonna just quickly cut this off, cut the low end frequencies off real quick. So it kind of gives it that low curve, but it's also kind of in a higher frequency. When you play that, it sounds like that. Also notice there was a little bit of cracking in that, so what we can do is we can just quickly bring this down a little bit. So it gives us a much more, rich sound, and it doesn't crack and pop and do all that jazz. If you look up here, this is like your CPU performance. This is how much of the CPU is being used up for this. It's fine, but some of the projects I did in the past really, really messed up my CPU. Not messed it up, but it was using a lot, and there was a lot of cracking and popping sound, and it almost became impossible to work on, and I don't have the patience to work and like fix it all and organize it because I messed up. You want to make sure that you have a good, strong foundation from the start, or else you're gonna be sorry. Yeah. Anyway, is there anything else I can share with you? Not really. I guess I can go to, oh, actually, there's one more thing. There's these transient processor. Transient processor is usually used for, like, I use it for, like, if I have, like, a beat and I really want to make it, like, really punch and, like, really have a good, like, clear sound to make it sound less, like, processed, if that makes sense. I will use it, but, yeah, I don't really use this for instruments, just mostly for drums. So yes. Ozone 9, this is also another EQ. I use this a lot if I want a little bit more of a higher quality EQ, like if I'm mastering, which I rarely do, but if I'm mastering, I will use it. I'm still recording it. Okay. Yes. I will say though, Ozone 9 takes up a lot of CPU space, so be careful. You actually might even want to just quickly, if you do use it, oh my, it should be like a mastering for like one bus. Like if you, this is what it's called, by the way, a bus. So you have the bus here, and then you have all the tracks connected to this bus. But what you want to do is if you want a overall EQing or mastering on a section, you want to have Ozone for the master, for the main one where it's all grouped together. So yeah, so that way you spare your CPU. Anyway, that's really all I have for today. My friend's going to be coming over soon. Hope you all are doing well, and I will see you later. Take care.